Hosted by Mike, the Big Cheese.
The Prince of Darkness has summoned me to bring a message to all of thee. You listen good, you learneth well, for he'll meet you all at the gates of hell.
All right, welcome back to the Heavy Metal Mayhem Radio Show. It is Sunday, November 2nd. We're already in the next to the last month of the year. I can't believe how fast 2025 has gone by. Right there, Ruthless with Gates of Hell. You know the band's working on a new record. We'll get that next year, 2026. We'll have Sammy back on the show. They were just here in New York this past summer, not even like a month and a half ago at the Rage of Armageddon Festival. And tonight's guest, Paul Arnold of That War, will be playing at next year's Rage of Armageddon Festival. So it's going to be great. When Ed pulled another bag of tricks out of his hat, I should say. He's lining up a great bunch of bands for next year, and I can't wait for it to come around again. Ruthless, Gates of Hell. I mean, the last record that had out, The Fallen, was about 2 years ago. I know Sammy's been working hard trying to get this new record out, and we'll have it next year. Last week we were talking about Exciter. I reached out to Dan. I sent him an email today, hoping to get a response back before showtime, but I didn't ask him what the status is of, the new record. We've been hearing about it for years, just hasn't come about. The last record was Death Machine in 2010, and that was really, it didn't even really feature that lineup. It was just John Ricci's version of Excited. It was a shame that when all three of the original lineup got back together right after that record, and they did play for a good 8 or 9 years, they couldn't get an album out to record it. John's an amazing songwriter. I mean, everything he's done with Excited is just tremendous, and I can't wait for this new project he has to come out. Hopefully, it will happen real soon. We'll see about that. All right, we're going to talk to Paul in about a half hour. Let's get on some more music between now and then. How about we do a little tension? Wrecking Crew. They Mary Shift. They were a great band out of Long Island back in the day. They only had about a 5 year lifespan. They came out around '86 and kind of threw the towel in around '91. I had the self-titled record out in '89 and then an EP 2 years later. They were a pretty good band. I remember seeing them live a couple of times back in the day. I always enjoyed them. And before that, Crossfire with Demons of Evil and Tension with Wrecking Crew. Oh, I mean, I love Tension. You know, they were such a great band. They started out life as Deuce. They changed the name to Tension as time went on. The two records that came out on each name came out many, many, many years after the band had already broken up and dissolved. And over the years, you know, I was lucky enough to have every member of that band on the show. You know, Tom Gaddis works as like a nuclear scientist in like Los Alamos. He's like, I remember we did the interview. He had to drive like 2 miles away to get cell phone reception because he couldn't get anything over there to do the interview. So that was kind of funny, but brilliant man and a great songwriter. So hopefully he gets back to music one day. It'd be great to hear New Tension or New Deuce, whichever band he wants to go by. All right, let me see here. What are we gonna do right now? I'm gonna get on one or two more songs. We're gonna talk to Paul in about 10 minutes. We got to talk about Megadeth later on. You know, with the new record coming out. I saw that George Lynch. You know, he's out there playing on the Lynch Mob again, and he said that Lynch Mob was over and done with last year or going into the beginning of this year was going to be the final Lynch Mob shows. We got no more touring, no more this. And if somebody says, "Why are you still out playing on the Lynch Mob?" He says, "Well, I'm a liar." So at least he admitted that he's a liar, and he does what every band does. They generate that interest. They get people to come out to the shows, and then they say, "Well, you know what? So many people want us to keep doing it. We changed our mind. We're going to keep doing it." So Lynch Mob is another band up there with a lot of other bands who talked about retiring and just didn't do it. There you go. George could have went out and played those songs under any name just to keep it going, but he's going back out on the Lynch Mob again. So there you go. All right, let's get one more tune on. I think we got enough time. Then we'll jump into an At War song, and then we'll get Paul on the line. We'll talk to him. So how about some Iron Angel?
break it up. Now you take the fall. Break them down, lock and load. Take control again. Break them down, lock and load. Take control again. Sick of your shit, we are forced to move in so far. Annihilate the world with sound. You've crossed the line, now time. You've seen the war sign. The truth is out, it's best you believe. Rise up, raise your cup. We've gone too far to stop. Forge on to victory and bring those bastards down. Rip off their fucking heads with volume, force and dread. Beat back until they see their last defense was me. At war, at war, at war, at war, at war, at war, at war. The power force you see comes so damn easily. War metal troops have come, your end is near. With weapons poised to fight, you will not last the night. There's nothing left to do but join the cause. Break them down, lock and load. Take control again. Break them down, lock and load. Take control again. Fight on with all your might. Know that you're on the right. Tear those defenses down and walk through that line. This war will never end. With rage you must descend. Let loose your battle cry for all to hear. At war, 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 we are 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 at
I think that song says it all. At war. Let's get Paul on the line. Hopefully the phone call will go through and no issues today. I came back and they upgraded the switchboard here, the digital switchboard, and I was away a week with my wife celebrating our 33rd wedding anniversary. Just got home to find out everything is different. So I'm trying. It's like a weekly thing now. So I'm trying to figure it all out and make sure the phone lines are connected properly. But we'll find out, I guess, in about a minute. Let's get Paul on the line right now. Hopefully it'll work and go through. And we'll have to figure things out on the fly, which I hate doing. Well, that's a good sign, right?
Hello.
Paul, this is Mike. You're live on the air. How are you?
Hey, Mike. How you doing, man? Good to hear from you.
I am doing great. It's a pleasure to have you on here today, and we got a lot to talk about, it seems.
It seems that way.
Well, I mean, I wanted to go back to the beginning and work our way up to like what's happening now, but I guess we should get the news out of the way. I mean, Sean is not with the band anymore. You know, one of the original founder members, along with yourself. 40 something years. That's a long time.
Yeah, it is a long time, man. You know, a lot of ups and downs, and mostly ups in this. And it's been nothing but an honor and a pleasure for me sharing the stage with Sean and working with him for so long. And you know, we all face life in different ways, and Sean's decided to make a little bit of a change in his life, and I fully respect that and love him, and we always will. He'll always has been and always will be a part of that war for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And when you think about it, over 40 years the band has been around. And up until not long ago, I mean, you, Dave, and Sean were the core of this band for pretty much the majority of that time. That's unheard of today.
Yeah, I know when we started playing again back in '06, we would do these festivals and shows and find out we were one of the very few bands with the original three members from the '80s. I mean, all original members. Most bands had turned into, just a few members. So we're very proud of that, and we're very lucky, to be honest with you.
Sure, you're being a three-piece band. I mean, everybody's got to be tight. Everything has to work. All the guys got to be on the same page. Was it always that way from the very, very beginning? Because I remember when I got the first demo tape, you guys were three-piece band. Did it start that way? Did it start with another guitar player or five guys?
Well, originally, I was trying to put a band together. I just fumbling around on a bass, just trying to do something, and I put up some ads in some local music stores for a guitar player, and one of my best friends played drums, so Sean was one of the first ones to answer when he came in. Like I said in my little thing I did today, this 17-year-old kid shows up on a motorcycle sitting on top of his guitar. Hey man, I want to jam with you guys, and I'm like, okay. I mean, I wasn't much older than him, but when you're that young, a 3 or 4 year age gap seems enormous, right? So he seemed like a kid to me, and I probably seemed like an older dude to him. But he came in and started playing, and we started talking about music, and we were on the same page. And so we were originally a four piece with a singer. I played bass, Sean played guitar, and at that time I think we had another drummer that was kind of a place card holder. He kind of got to a certain point where he didn't really progress much, and Sean and I used to go to this bar up the street, and there were a lot of cover bands playing, but there's one band, they were calling themselves Alcatraz, and Dave was the drummer. We'd go and go, man, that guy is incredible. And we'd be like, dude, it would be so awesome to get a drummer like him. And sure enough, a few weeks later, Sean was like, hey man, I hear Dave's looking for a place to live. I said, well, I got a room. I got a room. So he ended up coming with us, and he was on a bit of a hiatus, and his style fitted what we wanted to do so much. And the singer we had at the time was more of a heavy metal singer, and he wanted to go more in the sort of the higher vocal range type of music. And we were looking at it. We were getting heavily into like Venom and Motorhead and the more the angrier stuff, and we couldn't find a singer. We tried out so many, and I was singing the Motorhead stuff anyways. Sean says, hey man, why don't you just fucking sing, man? And it's one less person's a whole lot less problem. So that's kind of how it ended up.
It's with every band. I think the less members you have, the less headaches you have over time. But being that you were young, you were probably just learning how to play bass too at the time and taking on vocals. Was it a difficult thing to do both at the same time?
Well, I mean, shortly after getting into it, and we started writing on this immediately. I started getting these fanzines, the old Xerox copy fanzines. I was like, man, there's other bands doing just the same thing we're doing. And remember, in the early '80s, it was the Wild West when it came to music. Shit was happening that was so
Yeah.
cool, and everything was wide open. The idea that you could do anything and go anywhere and see other guys doing it, it was just like super exciting. It's like, we could do this, man. Let's play the music we like. Of course, we were getting a lot of pushback from here because bands around here, if you didn't play covers and kowtow to the club owners, you weren't going to get any gigs. And we're like, well, I don't give a shit about that. We care about playing the kind of music we love, and we'll send it to the people that want to hear it.
Yeah, and that's what we
So,
all did. We tape traded back then. That's how the names of bands got around. That's how I heard about you guys by getting the lead demo from a tape
oh
trade. And
yeah.
and when you think about it, I mean, Virginia had a lot of great bands that came out of that state over time. But you guys were out in like '83. I think you guys got started. And back then, there wasn't that big of a scene in my. I think. I think there was Wreckage, Cage, maybe Sheer Greed. Not a lot of bands like in around '83. Did you feel like the scene really didn't develop yet over there when you guys first started out?
Oh well, we were the only ones. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't have the internet to scour who were some of the early extreme metal bands, but I felt very strongly that we were one of the first ones to come out. And you mentioned Wreckage, man. Little fun fact. I actually played bass and sang on a couple of the songs on their original demo.
Oh.
Uh, Kevin asked me to come up there, wanted to hang out with him. It was a really cool time. But yeah, as far as I know, we were one of the first ones in '83 to take the more extreme route. Because I mean, our goal was to be as rude and as shocking as possible as far as the music goes. we weren't trying to make people happy. We were trying to make people go, "What the fuck," you know?
When does it go from that to saying, hey, you know what? Maybe we should try to get a record deal. I mean, because when you're young, you just want to play music, you want to get up on stage, you just want to have a good time, and you're not thinking about the business part of the music business. You're just thinking about the music part of it. When did you say to yourselves, you know what? Look at all these other bands around us now that are starting to take off and make things happen. We could probably make something happen too.
Well, it was never we never thought of it as being business. We just thought of it as the next step. I mean, as a youngsters as we were, I mean, the idea of being on a record was like, winning the lottery. Really, a record of our own? Are you shitting me? No, we want to put a record out, and we saw the first thing you had to do is put a demo out and then shop a demo, and people are either going to like you or hate you, and just hopefully somebody's going to go, hey, I can work with these guys. So, but we didn't think of it as business. It didn't really turn into business until it turned into business. You
Yeah,
know, we were having fun with it the whole time. Doing we felt like it was as much of what we were doing as practicing and writing songs and all that. It's just another part of it. If you want to be able to get gigs, if you want to play more, you got to have something that people can carry around and play in their car or whatever, and tell their friends about. So that's just a natural progression.
yeah. Well, the first record when it comes out a couple of years later, Order to Kill. I mean, did it was it originally out on New Renaissance Records? I'm trying to remember.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, when we started, Amita started sending the demo out, and back then it was pretty cumbersome. You had an 8x10, you had a bio, you threw some stickers in there, you had a letter, you threw a tape in there or whatever form well, it was tapes at the time, and you addressed the envelopes and you mailed them to anybody and everybody thought might even get the slightest shit about it. And I mean, I remember personally going to the post office with 50 of these envelopes in my hand and mailing them all up myself to everybody. And lucky enough for us, we started getting some responses. Joe Leonard from Combat Records had contacted me and they wanted to work with us. And shortly after that, Ann from New Renaissance, she had contacted me, and the combat deal was, and there were some other ones that were just not even, you couldn't even consider them. First off, the the legalese in it was so thick. It was, we were poor kids. We didn't have money
Yeah.
to hire lawyers. But Combats was pretty much like that too. And I got to talking to Ann. She said, "Hey, I'm starting this new record company for young bands, new bands like you guys. I'm one of this. I really like what you do." And we hit it off pretty much. And that's why we decided to go with New Renaissance, because the idea was it was a new label. We're a new band. They're on the other side of the country. We're on the East Coast. This could work. So that's how that happened.
Sure. Like you said, there was no internet back then, so it was all like going through the mail and communicating that way. Through even a phone call, even calling like the next state to you, it was a long distance phone call back then. So it wasn't easy making a lot of these things happen. And I guess your relationship with Dan was pretty decent at the time, because I got a beef with her, but that's something different. But I mean, how was it dealing with her as far as the label goes? Because she had Helium going on also at that time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was around for all the controversy when Green World went under, the distribution, all that. But I got to tell you, I'm always a half glass full guy. I'm not one to hold grudges or get pissed off, and life's too short to pollute my brain with that kind of shit. But Ann and her whole team have been nothing but supportive for us the entire time. I feel very strongly that during our hiatus from '94 till 2005 or six, had it not been for Ann and New Renaissance keeping our name alive, we could have very well just died in obscurity during that time. So, like I said, she had always been really great with me personally and with the band. Um, could other things have been better? Absolutely, but you can woulda, shoulda, coulda all day. So yeah, I mean, it was what it was at the time, and we made the best of it that we could. But like I said, Ann's been a friend of mine ever since then, I'm still proud to call her a friend today.
Yeah. Well, I bet if you go back to that time, there were a lot of underground labels that were starting to pop up. I mean, Metal Blade was getting its traction going, Megaforce over here. You had Shrapnel. You
Yeah,
had a lot of labels that were taking place, and she was one of those labels that came out and gave a shot to a lot of
yeah.
bands. So, I mean, you got to give it up for that, because, that's how a lot of bands did get signed and a lot of things did happen for them. But it was still all underground back then. I mean, even Metallica was just starting to break at that time with Elektra. But
Oh
before
yeah.
that, nobody was really getting signed to major labels.
No, absolutely. I mean, Metal Forces and Metal Blade, I think they were probably the top ones at the time, doing the most at the time. But yeah, there was a lot of it was a hard world to navigate, as far as who do you want to sign with, or who's willing to take a chance on like everything at that time, man. It was the Wild West, man. But the thing about it that I love about that time more than anything is that I feel really sorry about bands today is that, man, all bets were off about what you could do back then. I mean, the scene was wide open. I mean, uh, the labels and all the stuff that we have now, the black metal, the death metal, the different versions, whatever you want to call it, all this stuff didn't exist then.
True.
It was like it was either extreme or it was heavy metal, and then they started branching out with people say, hey, I want to be faster than the last guy. I want to scream louder than the last guy. I want to growl more than the last guy and slow it down, but then we'll speed it up. So then the people say, well, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. But it was a very exciting time watching all of that unfold all the way up to today, actually.
I mean, I always hated that we got subcategorized as so many different genres over the years, and it started in the mid '80s and it kept going on. Do you think that was more of the actions of the bands themselves who didn't want to be associated with like a regular heavy metal band or a hard rock band like AC/DC, and they wanted to be associated as something different? Or was it the fans that were just like, I'm not into Motley Crue no more, I'm into At War now, so they're going to be a death metal band or an extreme metal band? Where did it all come from, do you think? Was it the fans or the bands that kind of propagated all of that?
Well, I think the bands propagated because they're all and to fans to some extent because everyone as a kid growing up or even you want whatever music you're into to be your music. This is my anthem. This is what I listen to, right? And what I listen to is better than what you listen to because
Yeah.
I'm the best, right? That's kind of how it is. And bands are like, yeah, we're death metal, but we're super fast death metal. So we're going to call ourselves whatever, fill in the blank. So bands had a lot to do with that too. But what I noticed and what kind of made me feel bad is I feel like this was more of a scene in the U.S. than it was anywhere else in the world because I remember going out there in the late '80s and everything, and you see that when they have a festival, they have a band of every stripe, right? From a medieval power metal band to almost a punk metal band and everything in between. And the fans come and love every bit of it. There's not this segregation where you have a bunch of people going, well, if it's not black metal, it sucks. If it's not thrash, it sucks. If it's not death metal, it sucks. That seemed to me, and I may be wrong here, but it's just my observation was it seemed to be more of something going on here in the U.S. than it was the rest of the world. The rest of the world was kind of like grabbing metal, all forms of metal and holding on. Of course, there's outliers. There's always people that think they're what they like the most or what they play the most is the coolest form of metal. But as I've grown older, I mean, I appreciate every form of metal. The stuff that we used to rally against in the '80s. When you see how hard those guys they worked as hard as anybody else. You got to give them credit, man. These guys did a lot of shit, worked hard at it, and it still falls in the metal category.
That's very true. I mean, listen, I've been into metal since the late '70s. I mean, I got into rock with Kiss, in the mid '70s, like a lot of people did, and I just kept going on and on from there with everything. And then '81, I'm running around in a Union Jack shirt, like Def Leppard was the gods of the world. 2 years later, I was embarrassed to even say that I had that on when the next record came out, But we get trendy over here too a
Yeah,
lot of times. And in Europe, they just live it and they breathe it. And I see some of the festivals that you're talking about. I'm like, wow, that's really like a mixed bag of nuts on that lineup. I'm like, I don't know if I would be into it, but I would go and give it a shot. I mean, like you said, as we get older, we open up our minds a little bit more.
yeah, and you go there with a certain attitude, and then you all of a sudden you see a band that you didn't have any expectations. Like, holy shit, I really like this kind of music, and I
Yeah.
like this band. So I mean, it can be very eye opening if you just let your guard down a little bit and take the trends out of the equation and just try to enjoy it for what it is.
I mean, you've seen the scene and you've been a part of it since almost the very beginning, like me. And I mean, every band in the world wanted to come to America back then and make it here. This was the place to be. Now it's all reversed. You have South America's a big metalhead community down there. Japan is still strong. Everywhere out in Europe is like the place to be. So, where do you focus now with that war? I mean, do you try to stay here in the U.S. to focus on local shows or getting around here, or do you really got to focus where the fans are, which is mostly Europe and South America these days?
Well, look, let me start by saying I'm extremely honored and 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 humbled by the fact that after all this time that promoters and fans still want to hear what we're doing and what we did back in the 80s. Who'd have thought that we've been around this long, that people would still want to hear it? So it humbles me, and it makes me realize that, at the end of the day, the reason the band still has any kind of a following or anybody wants to book is really boils down to the music. So that's a testament to what we did in the early days, I think, and hopefully here recently in the 2000s and for the future for sure. But yeah, as far as concentrating, look, wherever they want to hear us is where we want to play,
Yeah.
and we've got stuff coming up here that's going to be all over the world. But for us, it's like getting in a van and pounding the pavement for 20 days and eating bologna sandwiches. Those days are long gone for us. back in the
God.
80s. Back in the 80s, we didn't think anything about it with our 20-year-old bodies, But nowadays, it's like, look, you can hit an ant one at a time, or you can use a bigger fly swatter and get them all. So larger shows, festivals are what we love to do. It's not the only thing that we'll do. We've got a lot of ideas coming up here in the future. But no, I mean, really, the bottom line, Mike, is wherever we want to be heard, we want to go. So be it Europe, Japan, South America, the U.S., Canada, wherever, Mexico, all these places have great scenes, and we want to go to all of them.
And you should, because everybody wants to see At War. It's been a while. I mean, going back to the early days, I mean, after Order to Kill comes out, you follow that up 2 years later with Retaliatory Strike, another great album. And then things kind of like started disappearing. We didn't hear a lot about the band anymore as the 90s came into play. But I don't remember ever hearing that the band officially broke up. Did the band just break up, or did it just like lay low for a while because the scene kind of changed, in 93, 94?
Well, anybody around the late '90s in the extreme metal scene knows what happened when grunge hit the market. A lot of people will decry that idea that somehow grunge affected metal, but that's absolute bullshit. We were in negotiations to record our third album. It was tentatively going to be called Calculated Risk, and the problem we had is that after Retaliatory, the idea is you and we were really happy going with Alex. We wanted to go back with Alex. We wanted to go back to Pyramid. We wanted to do a better record. That's what you want to do. You want to progress with each record. You want to write better songs, have a better record. But the money situation started getting a little hairy, and it was like, no, well, we can't afford to go do this, but we'll give you money to go here. And it was like a drawn out negotiation that never actually went anywhere. And as a result, personal lives started getting involved. Raising kids and work and trying to do dumb shit like keep the lights on, make money, things like that came into play. So we never actually broke up. Sean, Dave, and I, we lived close to each other. We stayed in touch all the time. We partied a lot. We did all that stuff, but the band never broke up. We just dust kind of fell on the guitars for a while. And then it was like, I guess around 2004, 2005, I started getting requests for us to play festivals in Europe. And these are things we'd have frankly given our right nut for in the early days of the
Yeah.
80s. But it was like, I remember calling Sean and Dave going, hey, man, these guys want us to play these festivals in Germany or wherever. What do you think? And they're like, fuck yeah, let's go. So that was the impetus for us to get back together and get out there. But no, we never officially broke up. We never even talked about it. And it was never even in the equation whether we broke up. We just kind of were dealing with life as it was.
Get So, I mean, when you did come back, I mean, you came back strong. When Infidel came out 2009, I mean, I know you said you were working on that third record. Did you actually ever record anything for that, even like just demoing it, or was anything from that recording session on Infidel?
Actually, yeah, several songs that are on Infidel were being played live back in the late '80s. They were filling our set, and as time went on, we actually went in the studio and recorded a demo, but it never made it out of the studio for several reasons. One of them being financial, the other one being we just weren't happy with it. But as time went on, several of the songs that are on Infidel are reworked versions of songs we used to play live that we never actually recorded. So they do have a legacy from that time. But when we started playing together, I said, "Look, you know, we I want to do a new album." We started writing like crazy, and the spark came right back.
I'm sure, and it sounds. I mean, it sounds like it would have been the third record. I mean, you just follow suit with what you did before that. You never lost, that at war sound. And with any of the songs that were left over from that time, you think you may revisit them one day, re-record them, rework them?
Uh, I never say never, man. Um, having said that, we've got a bunch of songs now that are going to be released that are new songs. Uh, so maybe. I mean, I'll have to revisit them. I know there's several songs that I really liked a lot. So yeah, I mean, never say never, man. It's very possible.
That's great. Paul, I barely remember last week sometimes, but I'm trying to go back to 19. I want to say 1985. Did you guys come to Brooklyn in 1985 to Brooklyn College to do an interview with Don Kay, who was a DJ there?
Absolutely.
I thought so. I remember that. I was the guy that came out to find you. I was the kid that came out to find you. Guys couldn't find your way to the to the recording studio there, and I was the one that came out and found you walking around and brought you into Don so you could do the interview. That's the first time I met you.
Yeah. Yeah. Don Kay, he was great, man. He was a big supporter of us in the early days, and yeah. Actually, I remember that. I'm surprised. I don't remember a lot, but I do remember that.
Yeah, yeah, he's like, the band's late. They can't find the way into the to the studio. Can you go look for them? I remember scouring that whole campus. I found you guys. He's like, how you gonna know what they look like? I'm like, the three metalheads. I mean, I'll find them. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you got to remember there were no apps back then, no map apps. You had to
Yeah,
do it analog.
yeah. You had to go out there and actually physically walk around and look for. Thank God I was in better shape back then.
We all were, man.
But that was a great interview with him. I remember that. I was like, you guys just blew me away. And I'm such a big fan of you guys all these decades later. So I know you
I
said you're
appreciate
talking about
it.
new music. I mean, are we looking at an album for maybe next year?
Absolutely, man. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and it just hasn't. It just we haven't had to make it work. I haven't been able to make it work, but and I may as well say it now. When Sean decided to leave, uh, baton's been passed to Rick Gress. Rick Gress has been a friend of the band for ever since the inception of the band. Just about. He was also our second guitar player during 2016 to 2017. He actually played as a sole guitar player in 2016 to 17. And he stepped into the role with myself and Brian, and we've been working very hard on on these new songs. The tracking is being done as we speak, and Alex Perialis is on board to help produce and mix this with us. So we're really looking forward to getting this album out. It's been a long time coming, and hopefully, I'm hoping for a late spring, early summer release on this. We've got a lot of the tracking done, but we still have more to do.
I know it's gonna be great. Is he gonna be the permanent guitar player in the band, or is he just working with you right now to get the album recorded and out?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, he's a permanent guitar player, and
Good.
yes, he'll be around for infinitum. I'm not looking to have the revolving door of members in this band. It's hard enough. It was hard enough losing Dave when Dave decided. Dave kind of had to leave because of his personal reasons, but with Sean, it's even more of a blow. But Brian and I, when Brian came in the band, we'd been through several other drummers, and though they did the best they could, when Brian came in, he brought back the spark that was the At War drum sound, which is crucial to this band. Dave was a monster, and everybody that knew Dave was blown away by him. This guy, when he got off the kit, there was sawdust on the floor. He was. I mean, I was just so proud to share the stage with him. And when he decided to leave, most drummers cringed at the idea of trying out because they knew drummer Dave. So it was hard losing Dave, and then having the other drummers, we were getting by. And then when Brian steps in, Brian was actually Dave's drum tech back in the day. And Brian's of our ilk. He's from the scene. He knows what's going on. And when he gets behind the drums, the songs sound like they're supposed to, which is very humbling and pretty fucking awesome. And Rick knows the songs, knows the At War song very well as well. So I'm really looking forward to working with him. He's a lot of fun. He's a great songwriter, and we've been working very hard together.
get along with everybody you're playing with also. And I notice that you like keeping it local too. I mean, you have bands that have members all over the planet and not just the country, and they make it work out. But I know, being in a band myself, I like to have everybody with me in the same area so you could play, rehearse. I feel that's the best way of getting things done. Do you think it would have been possible if you looked for members that didn't
Oh,
come from Virginia?
it was not it was not an idea that I was comfortable with. I mean, it and it gave me a lot of pause as to what I wanted to do personally, really. If I had to go that route, look, I see a lot of bands do it, and there's a lot of guys out there that are session guys that are really good at just picking up and flying out and going and jamming with a band and getting the tour done and all that stuff. But for me, since At War is a passion and a love and not a job, I want it to be. It has to be absolutely fun. It has to be really good and precise. So the idea of making it a much harder by having everybody living everywhere else is not a pleasing idea to me. So I feel very lucky that I'm able to pull from guys that not only live in relative close distance, but are really good friends and really good people and love the music. That to me is the most important thing.
Should be. I know it's. I think one of the hardest things is to find people to play with, people that are committed. I mean, like you says, we're all getting but we have children, we have families, have lives, things get in the way. But you also make a commitment to being a band. You have to be committed to it. You got to put in whatever it takes, and it's not a 24-hour, 7-day a week thing anymore. But do you find it difficult, like, to find people that can't commit to whatever you have to do to make this band happen?
It doesn't get any easier as you get older. Because everyone's got more commitments. They get more set in the way they live their life, and being what people see on stage when a band plays. They go, "Wow, this guy's making it look easy," but they don't see the hundreds of hours of work it takes to get to that point for every band. Some bands it's easier than others. Touring bands that tour all the time, it's easier for them because they're playing the same thing every night. But bands like us who aren't out there touring all the time, it's a big commitment, man. And I'm not to say it's not a big commitment for every band, because it really is. It's a lot of work being in a band. It's not something you just do half-assed or half-heartedly. So I give all the shout out to all the bands out there that are doing it, especially the guys that are of my generation or from the early mid '80s. Like I said, nothing gets easier as you get older. The
No, so
easy thing to do, Mike, is to do nothing. It's easy to
that's
say no,
that's true.
you know.
That's true.
But there's more to life, man.
Absolutely. I go to a show sometimes and I see guys my own age group and in the late 50s now, early 60s, and I'm like, God, we really got old, but we're still up there doing it. Then I look at the Rolling Stones, like 25 years older than I am, and they make it look like it's nothing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I said. I mean,
You
it's really
know,
in a mindset, I guess.
it's funny you say that, because for me, a lot of times, I mean, me being the guy in the band, every band has the guy, right? And the guy, by me, the guy that has to deal with all the business side bullshit of being in a band. Not that I did it completely alone, but I did the majority of the bull work. Man, I tell you what, it can take it out of you, and really make you question your decisions. And then I look at someone like Lemmy, and I'm like, fuck, Lemmy's doing it.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be bitching, right? You talk about the Stones. I mean, look how old these guys are. I shouldn't be bitching. I'm a youngster compared to them. So yeah, that definitely gives you the impetus to want to keep going, because you don't want to be seen as a quitter, especially when you got a lot more left in you.
Absolutely. You think about Lemmy. I mean, the man went right up to the end. I mean, he came off a tour. He was getting ready to go back out again, and he died in between. He went right till his body just said, "That's it, you're done." I mean,
Yeah.
and you could see he was getting sick. You could see he wasn't looking right, like those last few shows, as he was going on. But he just did not quit. He just kept going. That's all he knew.
I remember hearing an interview with Lemmy, and this is part of the inspiration. Is they were asking, so Lemmy, if you weren't in Motorhead, you didn't play music, what would you do? He goes, I'm not worth shit. There's nothing I can do. This is all I know how to do. This is what I have to do, And I'm like, I feel lucky in the fact that I have a lot of skills outside the band that I would be fine to get through life without the band. But I love the fact that I'm in this band, and I'm so proud of it. I'm even more proud that people still want to hear it, and everyone listening to this. I want to thank everybody that's tuning in, for one, and everybody that's not that supports not just That War, but every band, all the bands from Virginia, and the East Coast and all the bands that have been around, bands all over the world. I can't thank everybody enough for continuing to keep the faith and supporting everybody. Because even as a fan, it gets harder and harder to pry your ass off the couch to do anything, you know. And you'll have 10 bands come be like, I'll pass. But when you hear a band you want to hear and you get off the couch and go, it means a lot. It means a lot to the band. It means a lot to the scene. And I can't send enough appreciation to everybody. And people like you, Mike, for what you do with this radio station. It's huge. I know it's not easy, but it's important, and it's something that we need more of.
That's the God's honest truth. I mean, listen, I grew up with this music. This was what I loved. 30, 40, 50 years later, I'm still listening to it. I'm still playing it. I'm starting to see like my idols die. Ozzy died this year. Ace Frehley died this year. It makes you when that stuff like that happens, it just makes you want to go out to see a show more, to buy another record, because we don't live forever. So why not do it now and enjoy it while we can, and support the bands that are doing it. I know, like with you, like when Infidel came out in 2009, I'm sure there were plans to get one album out quicker, not like a 16, 17-year gap in between. But a lot of things happened, and a lot of things took place that kind of postponed it. But I mean, was there something planned after Infidel for the next record? Then it just kind of life got in the way, and we're here now waiting for the new one.
Well, let me see. Well, yeah, I mean, Infidel 2009. I was involved in that horrible hunting accident in
Yeah.
2010, where I was almost killed, and it took me 3 years to recuperate from that to where I could get my life back to some semblance of normalcy, So yeah, that was a big problem because we were ready to go back to Japan to do a tour, Japan, South America. We had all this stuff booked. We were getting ready to start writing music for a new album. I mean, the confidence was high and the energy was high, and then that just fucking took the wind right out of the sails for about 3 years. And then when we started being able to play again, it was about getting out and playing the shows that we didn't do. So writing kind of got put off. So it was a combination of us concentrating on trying to get out and playing again, and all right, we'll get to the new songs, and trying to write the songs, then life gets in the way. It's just a lot of stuff. And then it got to the point where we'd be playing live and people want to hear the old shit. And then there was the question there's this debate between a lot of bands, why do a new album and nobody wants to hear it? They want to hear the old shit. And then you got other people, no, we want to hear new stuff. But for me, it was about, I wanted to write songs and put a new album out. That's what I wanted to do. And that was me, but I'm only one of three guys in the band, So there was a little bit of internal conflict about the motivation to get in and record. So that's where we are now, where I'm super motivated to do the album, mainly because these songs I feel are some of the best stuff that Atwar's ever done. And I'm really looking forward to getting it out there and letting people hear it.
Sure, they're gonna be. And I think the bands that always say, why write new music? Just, play the old songs, the hits, because that's what people want to hear, are the ones that can't write anymore. That's just my opinion of it. I listen to some of the music they put on, like, this sounds not. I mean, I don't expect you to put out a record next year that's going to sound like Order to Kill. It's impossible. It's 40 years later, but it's going to sound like At War. And that's what all that matters to me, is that it sounds like an At War record. Well, other bands put
Yeah.
out records, and they just can't recreate that sound, that vibe that made them
Yeah.
popular or famous. They just can't do it anymore.
Well, on that same note right there, the thing when you go to write music, you're like, you can go, I need to stay in a box, stay in that box, be in that box. You don't want to disappoint your fans, stay in the box. And I was like, man, you need to be creative. You need to step outside the box. And my thinking is, fuck all that thinking. My thinking is, do what you love, do what you like, do what makes your skin curl. Do for you first. Love the song because you love it, and the other guys in the band love it, and then put it out there, and hopefully, people will like it, they'll understand, and they'll go for it. But you can't. Anybody in a band, anybody who writes music can tell you, you can't try to write for the fans. You can't try to write for people. You write. You do what you do. I mean, I'm the bass player singer from At War. I'm always going to be that. I'm not something else. So what we do is going to be what we do, I hope I'm making sense here, but
No, absolutely.
you got to write. You got to write for yourself first, and then put it out there, and you'll live or die, suffer the slings and arrows of the fans' opinions. But I know one thing: no matter what you do, you're gonna have people that hate your fucking guts, no matter what
Oh
you do or
yeah.
how good a band is. And you're gonna have people that love it that maybe don't know you. Damn, I never heard this band. This album sounds killer. Then you're gonna have the hardcore fans that go, no matter what you do. You're gonna have the hardcore fans going, this doesn't sound like Order to Kill. This isn't that. But you know what? You can't sit back and go, does it sound like Order to Kill? I don't want to make this one guy mad. So you just fucking, you put it out, man, and you say, this is it. We love it. We hope you love it. If not, hey, man, have a nice day.
All you can do. I mean, listen, you have a band like AC/DC who write pretty much the same record. Every time they put out a record, they write for what the people want to see them want to hear. So they write for them. That's what they do. I mean, I can
Yeah.
imagine after all these decades, something else must have caught your attention. Where Angus must have said, I really want to try to, write something. He just writes the same four chord songs over and over again. The fans love it. They sell out arenas. So it works for
But
bands like that. But other
and
bands
that's
that
the
don't work for.
that's AC/DC, right? You
Yeah.
expect that out of them.
I, I,
So and look, what you're going to get from Out War is going to be an Out War record.
yeah.
We're
That's what we
not
want.
we're not some chameleon when it comes to what we do. It is what it is. Even if the critics say, well, this sounds nothing like Order to Kill, Retaliatory, or Infidel, it's still an Out War record. You
Absolutely,
know.
and there's always going to be ups and downs with any band. It's like a roller coaster. But was there ever a time you really thought about just hanging up and saying, "I can't do this no more. I don't want to do it no more"?
Dude, are you shitting me? ah,
Well, how
oh
many
yeah,
times?
man. Well, I mean, facetiously, right? Really,
Yeah,
I never really considered, because it was like I never felt in a situation where I felt like it had to be either or. I didn't have to make that break. It's like, if I wanted to work hard with that word, I could do it. If I didn't, I just wouldn't. But I didn't ever feel like I needed to make the decision that I just need to just be done. Have I thought about it? Absolutely. Would my life be easier? I don't know. Maybe. Apparently not, because I've decided to keep going. I mean, look. We're all masochists in some ways, right? But no, I mean, seriously, I don't think I've ever seriously thought about hanging it up. I've gotten pissed off at times, and wondered if it was all worth the while. And then it takes one fan, one person, to come up to me and say something, anything, even remotely complimentary, or anything about what any impression that we made on them, and it was an effect in their life, makes it all worthwhile. It makes me want to keep doing it. I don't need to have 100,000 people saying the same shit. One kid comes up to me, or one adult. I mean, the funny thing about it used to be back in the '80s, and I think bands like that have been around as long as we have, it started out in the '80s. Hey man, my friend told me about you guys. Hell yeah, you guys kick ass. And then it'd be like, later in the '80s, early '90s. Hey man, my dad told me about you guys. Man, this is cool. I love this kind of music. And then you get hey, my grandfather told me about you guys. Then you're like, oh shit, you know. But I mean, all of that makes it totally worthwhile, man. I mean, for me, you know, that makes every second of this worth every ounce of sweat, blood, pain, and toil, man.
I mean, over the last 20, 25 years, we had MySpace and all these other social media sites. Now it's Facebook and Instagram, and every kid with a guitar could go into his computer and record a song, an album, program everything, send it out there, and a million people can hear it. But then I think about all the bands that started out like when we came around in the late 70s and early 80s. It was all word of mouth. It was trying to get into a fanzine if you can, and maybe, and people bought fanzines back then because that's all we had to support our scene
Yep.
with. And putting flyers up on telephone poles and trying to get people locally to come see a show and tape trading and stuff like that. Sometimes I feel there was more of a reach back then than there is now for a band because you just get lost in the internet. There's just so much going on. You can't find what you're looking for half the time. But back then, when somebody mentioned that war, you got that cassette, you ordered that demo. If you saw the address in a magazine, you traded with somebody, and next thing you know, you knew everything about the band that you could from that little bit of info that you had on them.
Well, Mike, the hugest thing is attention spans.
Yeah,
The attention spans of people has changed so much since back in our days. I mean, if you got a 2 or 3 song demo from a band, you listen to every fucking second of it.
yeah.
You didn't listen to 2 seconds and cut it off and throw it in the trash. That's the disposable short attention mind span that most people have today. I mean, think of the people that were born during the internet. that's all they know. They don't know anything before that. Their mind is like quick, 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 quick. You know, it's the Instagram, the Snapchat, the TikTok mentality. You know, give me a few seconds, I either like it or I hate it, and get out of it. They don't really give anything a real chance. You know, so everything's disposable to them. You know, that's what makes it so much harder for new bands than it did back then. I mean, you know, back in the vinyl days, you'd go and you'd like we would go to the record store and look for cool looking bands. We had no idea who they were. We go, that band looks cool. Take it home, pop the record out, throw it on the thing, and stare at that album cover and read every trademark symbol on it. Learn everything about it. Look at the guys. Become friends with the guys from the pictures on the album cover. Listen to the record. If you liked it, you really stayed there. If you didn't like it, you would laugh, put it back in the sleeve, take it back, or give it to a friend. You know, but the attention span thing I think is big for that. I mean, there was a lot more intimacy with the music back then, I think, than it is these days. But maybe I'm having a misremembering my love for the past or whatever. But I know how I was when I got new records. I would order these. Back then they were called imports. You know, you go to your local record store and say, "Hey man, I want to get a record from this band called Saxon or whatever," and it would come in a few weeks later, and you throw it in. Hell yeah, this is cool. And you would really, it would become a part of you. You know. So nowadays, it's like a lot of people hear a clip of a song and they go, "Oh, that's cool," and they'll learn the song, but they have no idea what the band looks like or anything. Not all of them. There's people that get into what they get into, but it's certainly not the same as it was as far as ingesting every bit of what was going on in the media.
Free with either streaming side or downloading it somewhere illegally like that. Like it says, I went to the record store. I would ask for the import record section, see what they had, look for album covers on the wall, see them look cool, you know, until you could find out about the band. And I would buy records, come home, play them, and I was like, I'm not really crazy about this, but you know how hard it was to come across $5 back then to buy a record. I learned to like that record, whether I liked it or not,
No,
because
no,
I play over and over
dude,
again just because I spent money on it.
dude, absolutely. I remember doing that, going, there's maybe one song. I was like, okay, but it was the only cassette in my '65 Falcon, right? So I
Yeah.
played over and over again. And next, you know, it's one of my favorite records, and it was never really that good to begin with. You know, you kind of get into this psychoses where you learn to love something you didn't like, but it's because you didn't have any more money to buy more shit. It wasn't easy just to chuck shit.
You're right. It wasn't. That's why I till today I thank God for Columbia House because I was always able to get like 12 records for a penny and do that over and over again with different names on there. Thank God they never came after me, but you know,
Yeah,
that's a,
I remember Columbia House being big, but big on the metal scene. But I get it, man. I know what you're saying.
yeah. But it was a different time and place. You know, Paul. Next year, I mean, this year's almost over. I know we're gonna get new music from you next year. You're coming to Brooklyn next year again. You're gonna be playing at the Rage of Armageddon Festival. It's gonna be an
Oh yeah.
amazing, amazing festival, an amazing show. But what else you got cooking for next year? You working on anything else, or you're just really trying to
Well, I
focus
got
on getting the album out?
well, I got to tell you, man. Ed is doing a great thing up there, and I'm so honored and proud that he's invited us to come back to play Brooklyn. It's one of the highlights for next year for us because I mean Ed, he works so hard with this festival, and I know he's not knocking it in the creek. And for him to dedicate the amount of times he does is dedicate all of his time and effort to get this done is it's one of the things that we have to support. You know, not just the bands, but the fans. Everybody needs the support. So yeah, I mean, as far as other things we're doing, we're looking to go to Romania for the first time near the end of next year. We're
Wow.
going to Eindhoven for the Eindhoven Metal Meeting in December. We've got several other things that I can't really talk about right now because they've asked me not to announce till later in
Got
the
it.
year. But we've got several things going on. So, but we're actively booking things and looking forward to see. Hoping 2026 will be a banner year for At War.
It sounds like it's going to be new music, a lot of shows, and you're coming back to Brooklyn. So I get to see you guys again. So I'm excited about that. And Paul, I'm going to let you go in 2 minutes because I want to play some more music from some of your albums, and we're going to wrap
Roger
things up
that.
here tonight. But I mean, what a great time talking with you. I will see you next. I think it's August, beginning of September, whatever Labor Day falls on next year. But I will be there at that show, and I can't wait to meet up with you. It'll be the first time I see you in
Absolutely.
person, and since 1985 when I walked you to the Don Kay interview.
Well, Mike, I look forward to it, and it's been an honor and pleasure for you to have me on. And again, I want to thank everybody who took the time to listen to this. And keep up the faith, everybody, and keep your ears and eyes open for for a new at war record sometime in hopefully in spring, early summer of 2026.
We're all looking forward to it, Paul. You take care, my friend. Have a great night.
Okay, thanks. Take care, Mike.
Bye bye. All right, let's get on some more At War for everybody to hear. How about we do, let's see here, Dawn of Death.
Tyrants, take heed, come the morning. We'll fight your downfall. I'll come here to stop you. Stop light, suppressed hate, self-rate growing stronger. First time, forced out, no doubt by the oppressed. You slide. Until we bring the dawn of death, these things you can look for. You know damn well they'll be with you, oppression, hate, and war. Taking, faking, lie and murder. Self-gain, fight wars, pay whores just to please you. False brain, closed eyes, you'll die, don't sleep at night. We're there to meet your maker, it's a pleasure. We care. Until we bring this dawn of death, these things you can look for. You know damn well they'll be with you, oppression, hate, and war. Nightly vigils, watching your moves, scheming. The outcome will stun, ending your life, demeaning. We've masked, will last, here to conquer your past, your rules. For fools, understand this, we rule. Until we bring that dawn of death, these things you can look for. You know damn well they'll be with you, oppression, hate, and war. When priests become politicians, they'll have freedom on the run. The land of free, the home of brave, the force of men to be God's slaves. Church and state must separate. It's time we now retaliate. Church and state can integrate. Do it now before it's late. The righteous flux turn press to stocks.
Guy's been a fan for so many decades now, and I cannot wait to get new music next year. I'm looking forward to it. I also new music from Cyclone coming out. I think this week Guido is going to upload a song or part of a song. It was supposed to happen like a week ago, but something came up with the record company. So I'm looking forward to new Cyclone and what it does. I'll reach out to Guido again and have him back on the show. It's going to look like a great year for 2026 for new music. All these bands are working on stuff. I think it's going to be another one. We've had nothing but good years. I mean, over the last 10 years, I mean, all the classic bands from the 80s have been putting out great records, most of them anyway. And a lot of new younger bands that are up and coming put out tremendous albums. So hopefully next year will be the same. All right, what else is going on? Halloween are going out. They're celebrating the 40th anniversary tour. I can't believe Halloween's already been around for 40 years. It starts in the spring here in New York. They're going to be playing at the Palladium. I'm not sure who's on the bill with them yet. I have to check out and look into that and see what it is. But I think I'm going to go check that show out. The last time I caught them was when Michael Kiske rejoined the band and they were doing the two singer thing. I thought it was a pretty amazing show. They played for like over 2 hours at Irving Plaza. That was quite a while back already. So I go back and forth with the new Halloween records. Sometimes I can get into a lot of songs on it. Sometimes I'm like, eh. But you know, it's Halloween, so what can you say? All right, let's get on another set of music over here. Then we'll come back. We'll chit chat a little bit more. And don't forget, next Sunday night, Rick Hughes from Sword is our guest. Rick has a brand new solo record out featuring Tommy Aldridge, Greg Gillis, and Rudy Sarzo. That Speak of the Devil lineup from Ozzy Osbourne from back in 1982. I can't wait to talk to him about that album and everything else about Sword. So that'll be next Sunday night. Right now, how about some Jack Panzer? Iron Shadows.
In the darker days of old, the law was the sword. Alright! Yes, it was long ago there was a strong man who lived by the sword. He was being chased by a strong and mighty horde. Lying in the bushes to hide from the rest, he suddenly hears the cries of a maiden in distress. And you see flesh and ribs of steel till the flesh of the bone cries of corner is his last I grip. With one eye on the foot and the elbow on a woman, he hastily flees from the rest. Roaring day and night, not stopping in his way. While tales of all the smoke and madness, he gently falls asleep, then awakes on the shore. The stories that last on the yeah. All right. Now knowing where they rested, they went
you know that's where I'm gonna be. Temptation drives me insane. All I wanna do is play the game. Listen to the cries deep in your soul, you know. Oh yeah. Listen to what they say. Sacrifice. Sacrifice on one to maintain free. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. Like the fires that burn forevermore. That's what burns in the hearts of the young. Fight the battles, but never win the war. Is it fair? I don't know. There's a reason I'm feeling in the streets, and you know that's where I'm gonna be. Institutions, they try to bring them down. Always take a good look around. Don't want no sympathy, feelings too deep. Scars will never heal. Oh yeah. Listen to what they say. Sacrifice. Sacrifice on what to maintain free. Sacrifice. Raise your hands to the victories. Be proud and let them see. Strength will come in the numbers that run. Don't you know this is rock and roll? Sacrifice on what to maintain free. Sacrifice.
All right, Christian took us all the way up to Ottawa, Canada for that one. That was Antics with We All Sacrifice. You're right. It definitely has a very Van Halen feel to it, especially on the harmonies. The other songs are more Van Halen oriented. And I think the single that Iman was talking about was Here's Looking at You. It has a bunch of groupies on the cover. I guess that's what he's talking about. All right, and before that, Black Task with Knowledge is Deadly and Jack Panzer with Iron Shadows. Jack Panzer always delivers time and time again. I absolutely love those guys. One of my top 10 favorite bands. All right, I was talking with John the other day, and he was sending me a link about the Megadeth record, and I just don't get it. Dave Mustaine is putting his version of Ride the Lightning on the album. Okay, this is supposed to be Megadeth's last record and last tour, if that actually happens or comes true. Every band says that, and then a year later they go back out there and they start playing again. So I don't know if he's a man of his word or not, but this could be Megadeth's last record, and it might be their last tour. We'll leave it at that. It is. So why would you want to put out your last record and put a Metallica song on there that you helped co-write? I think Dave Mustaine wrote or co-wrote about 6 or 7 Metallica songs from the early days. And his thing is, I always told them not to use my music if they kicked me out of the band. Not to use. Listen, Ross the Boss wrote a lot of those great Manowar songs. He left the band. He didn't take the songs with them. Yeah, he plays them live here and there, but they belong to Manowar. Whatever band you're in that you write songs for, the songs belong to that band. You may have been the writer of them, and who listen when you wrote those songs, you guys had no idea that Metallica was going to take off and be the biggest thing in the world, and they weren't back then when Ride the Lightning came out. You know, they had a great following, an underground following, but they weren't stadium headliners back then. But he still bitches about that. He still talks about Metallica. The first record he reworked, you know, the Full Horse back to the original version of the Mechanic, and now he's doing it with Ride the Lightning. Now, I mean, all I could think is like for 40 something years, this man has let Metallica live rent free in his mind. That on your last record, you want to put that version on there. It wasn't necessary. It wasn't needed. It didn't even have to be done. But he just, you know, Metallica definitely fucked with this guy's head. I mean, he was only in the band for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years of that. I don't even remember how long it was back then. I did get to see his last show when they played here in New York, in Staten Island. But I'm just saying, why do that? Just put out. You know, I got the songs I've heard so far are really good. I think they're some of Megadeth's best music since their first and second record. So why put Ride the Lightning on there? Why let people know that this band still fucking rules you and controls your mind? Just isn't necessary, in my opinion. He should just let it go. He just can't. That's Dave Mustaine for you. So maybe when he comes back, he'll come back as a Metallica cover band or a tribute band instead of a Megadeth band in the future. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get through one more set of music, and I think we're going to wrap it up here tonight. So here's Tyrus, Seafaring Evil.
make her feel so alright. Now, face it, takes control's gonna take her for a ride. As she made a nightly stroll, she should have stayed inside. Trends on city matters. There's a killer in town. Trends on city matters. He's got to take you now. She knows he's on her trail. There's just nowhere for her to hide. She feels her legs begin to fail as the terror mounts all inside. She cries for help, desperate screams, no one hears her pleas. She tries to escape the switch breaks gleam, driven to her knees. Trends on city matters. There's a killer in town. Trends on city matters. Takes you down. Now she knows her time is through. Say her life was just too short. And now this killer is after you. You're being hunted just for Trends on city matters. There's a killer in town. Trends on city matters. He's got to take you
I want to thank Paul from Matt Wharf being on tonight's show. Don't forget to tune in next Sunday night. Rick Hughes of Sword is our guest. We're going to wrap it up here tonight with one more song. Going to do a little Black Sabbath for Keep It True and send this out to my wife. Her and I, we celebrated our 33-year wedding anniversary yesterday. We went away for the weekend and got back to New York just in time for the show. So here you go, sweetheart. All for you. Black Sabbath. Keep it warm. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.